So, so up next is Dr. Andreas Raharso. He's the program director of Next Practice at NUS Business School and the founder of Organizational Analytics. And for 2 decades, he's been developing frameworks that help leaders anticipate not just to react to, but to change. And today, he will talk about micro moments leading in the SG60 era. Sounds interesting. So, Dr. Andreas, the screen is all
Okay.
yours.
So today I will talk about something about micro moment. And if you are kind of curious why it's leading in the SG60 era, right? So basically, in the nutshell, I will share with you all today about the most important thing in today, which is facing by all L&D leaders, which is most of the leaders today is struggle to make sense of AI. We are living in the era of AI, but most of people have trouble to make sense of AI. Before I start, can anyone try to read the words that in my screen at this moment? I give you 5 seconds. Can you read it? Okay, I will try to read this for you, okay? Basically, this is said that, do you find this simple to read? Because of the phenomenal power of the human mind, most people do, okay? Well, let me start with this. If you are able to read the letter that I put at the screen right now, basically, you will struggle to make sense of AI. I will explain now why. Okay. So allow me to emphasize the importance of this issue at this moment. Allow me to bring our Prime Minister's speech about during the SG60. That why this is I bring it up. He said that Singapore needs to think harder about how it can help every company make full use of AI. And this is so important. Every one of you is become no-brainer at this moment. Even our Prime Minister, Mr. Wong, mentioned AI around 40 times in his speech. But I have to tell you, from my long experience in this field, deal with so many companies, leader will struggle to make sense of AI because of what I call it as fill in the blanks problem. Basically, our brain rely on the past experience. Leaders, typically leaders, they are not novice, you're not beginner. You are interpreting new information by filling gaps with what they already know. Come on, all of you is so proud, right? That you are experienced people, and experienced people need to pay high because you have a lot of experience, right? Come on, in the AI era, you will have a problem. Why? Because you try to fill in the blank, which is to fit very well when I give you something to read before with AI, because AI is never happened before and it's rapidly evolving. So that's why no matter how many, if you are L&D leaders, you try so many workshop, try to solve this problem, and at the end, it's still your people unable to make sense of AI. Okay, I have to tell you, unless you are trained like me in the cognitive science, the fill in the blank problem is actually it's very difficult to solve because it's operate below your conscious mind, because this is a problem is actually reside at your subconscious or even unconscious mind, right? That's why you're able to read nicely about what I show you before. Okay, so this is what happened. Especially right now, you want to create, I give you one more, just one example. You just want to create more sales, for example, right? Well, you believe AI, and your leaders basically try to bring 20 years of his or her experience in the marketing and the customer service, and try to understand what AI able to do with the customer service, for example. Well, to be honest with you, nothing, your experience just bring a little in this area, because AI can create the customer service level that you never imagined before. Basically, it's a mismatch, okay? So this is our solution. So basically, I'm doing this actually. In the past, I do a lot of next practice. It's a part of it, but right now I see it's just take off this part and bring it to R&D people will be very important, very handy, put it that way. I call it, our solution is Tempervise. Tempervise is basically to create a very unique leadership skill of temperance. Okay, um, this is temperance, basically the quality of moderation or self-restraint, because this is the only way, if you understand how brain works, we were able to stop the fill in the blank problem. Okay, um, well, I have to say that because this is deep in our brain, so unless you are using the cognitive science approach, then it's very difficult to solve this problem. Okay, so I just want to be very quick with this because the time. I give you example what I will do in the 2 days workshop. Okay, basically the title of the workshop will be curing the fill in the blank problem through cognitive science. Okay, so very typical on the day one, I will speak about the fill in the blank problem itself. Okay, because many of you are not even aware actually how your brain actually deceive you when it's coming to something new. It's like AI. Okay, so it's in the morning, it's more like a standard. What I do in the business school is more in lecture. Okay, but after that in the afternoon I already talk about directly, is all action. Okay, this is experiential exercise, how actually you are trigger your curiosity. Well, this is a cognitive science problem. You need to be able to trigger your curiosity to overcome this problem. Okay, so after day one, perhaps you at least already understand about the framework, how to do it, and day two we already practice it. Okay, so the day two, basically we the very important method that I create, we call it contrast reflection and micro moment invitation. Okay, so the objective basically on day two is already practice. You want to able to reflect between your old assumption, because you have tendency to fill in the problem, and you have to aware this is not with emerging reality. So in the morning, I will start with the guided exercise to the participant, which is contrast mapping, because the most important, you need to be able to contrast. Okay, and the afternoon, what I call it micro moment invitation, is basically you already practice about how you can solve, at least minimize your fill in the blank problem. Okay, and if you ask me about the impact of this, very simple. At the end of day two, every participant already able to see the impact, because once I manipulate a bit in the manipulate and the positive science about your brain, then basically you are already know how to do it and you are good to go. Okay, and about myself, about why I'm able to talk about this. I already with NUS since 2015. I'm the program director of Next Practice. Okay, and before that, if you are long enough in learning and development, I'm a global director of research for Hay Group before it's acquired by Korn Ferry. Okay, and why I know a lot about AI, because I'm also a former executive fellow at the NUS School of Computing, and I'm doing a lot of things. This is some of my company that working with me, and if you want interested with this, you can always contact me at, this is my email, and then this is also my LinkedIn if you want to know about more about this. Okay, I think that's all for me right now. Give it back to the moderator. Okay,
Okay.
all right.